Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Thursday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Thursday, guys. So they gotta go. They got to go. They gotta go. Period. You're like, who gotta go? Let me just tell you, boo. Okay, I was convicted to make this recording earlier today, but I just didn't. I couldn't. I didn't have the proper space I needed. I didn't have. I just couldn't make it. But anyway, so I made a mental note to be sure that I make it once I got home. And what I heard the Holy Spirit say clear as day to share on YouTube was these individuals who you have been waiting on to change, you've been begging to change, for them to change, they've been promising you to change, they've been manipulating you forever, they have been causing you to act out of character because they know how to tug at your emotions and then use it against you forever. Every time you're in their presence, they're pulling something from you. Every time you leave, they're taking something from you. These folks have to go. If they don't have to go, there have to be some strategic boundaries put in place. Because of course, some of these people are people right in your own household. So, right? So, and I mean, even they can get it. I mean, I'm just saying they can get it, right? But there are going to be some people who it is what it is. They're just going to have to be in your life. So with these individuals, you're going to have to come up with a solid plan of solid boundaries, and you're going to have to stick to those boundaries and enforce and be firm with those boundaries. Many people are stuck and they will not be elevated because you are refusing to remove certain people, or you keep allowing them to come back and to mistreat you, gaslight you, manipulate you, and they're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Now, if you just want to do that, within your own fleshly being, and God ain't calling you and he haven't tapped you and chose you, then do what you do. Sit over there stressed out, right? But when God has a need for you, he is demanding you to get it together. He's trying to say, I need you over here, right? I need you over here. And you keep going back to this nut butt. You keep going back to this fool, thinking they're going to change. You already know what it is. But yet you're praying and asking me to change your prayer. I done told you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. So you're waiting on me to change a person. And listen, my God, I promise you, I just wish I had some of this wisdom years ago. When it comes down to thinking you can change people, or even allowing people to sit there and use and abuse your time because they know you have a good heart, they know you're empathetic, and they will play on your emotions. Empaths attract narcissists. Empaths attract, and then, empaths or servers or just good-hearted people, plug your thing in there, attract manipulators. We keep thinking everybody in this world have our hearts. We keep forgetting how rare we are. We keep forgetting that we're cut from a different cloth. I have to have this conversation with myself probably 5 times a day. Sometimes I look at people and I just can't grasp. I think it was yesterday. Like, I'm one of these people. Like, if I see somebody trying to get over, like if I'm driving, I will hit my brakes and be like, come on over, right? But it's almost like people have lost the art of just. And I'm looking at people. This one guy was trying to get over, and the one guy like sped up so he could. I'm like, what is wrong with people? People are insane. Like, and I'm sitting here talking. I'm in the truck by myself. I'm like, I just don't understand. Why would you do that? Why would you let him get over? Like, how can you be that cruel, right? I'm talking to myself, and God is like, girl, I done told you. You keep forgetting everybody don't carry your spirit. In fact, most people are the opposite. Most people are selfish. But what do selfish people do? They connect themselves to selfless people with an agenda. There's an agenda. This is why you have to use discernment. This is why I have no problem helping anybody, because I know I will get convicted the minute it's the wrong person, or the minute where I'm getting too involved and God says help this one time and that's that, right? I follow my convictions. So it's a fine line, but the key is you have to follow your convictions. Because some people feel like, well, I mean, we're supposed to be out here helping people. We're supposed to be, yes, but you're not supposed to be out here letting people take advantage of you, manipulating you, gaslighting you, and they're doing it intentionally. And here you are walking around, your spirit is low all day. God can't even use you. God needs you to go out here and, let some light shine through you, and you all depressed because but it has manipulated you again and said something to you just to trigger you. And then when you get triggered, they turn that against you. Here's the key. If the individuals have to be around you, meaning like there's just no way, right? They have to be around you for whatever reason. One thing that I speak about a lot is the importance of owning your stuff. When you own your stuff, people can't use it against you. Okay. So, for example, I use myself for an example since I'm so vocal about, patience not being my most strong point. Okay, so let's just say that I am having a conversation with a narcissist, and I know this person. Like, this person has all kind of issues, all kind of vices. They're just straight trifling, right? I know this, but I'm not going to just rub that in your face, because that's not what we do. Meaning, us chosen people, we're trying to spare your feelings over here, but you're over here trying to intentionally just hurt our little feelings. So, okay, so let's just say I'm having lunch with this narcissist, right? And then I may say something or whatever. I don't know. I say something. And then they may say something like, you just don't have any patience. If I haven't owned that yet, that would trigger me, right? Because anytime something triggers you, that means you haven't owned it yet. That means you're still battling with that thing within yourself. Well, if nobody's perfect, if we all have our stuff, and we all do, we all have our vices, may not be the same as yours. You may not have an issue with patience, but you can't keep your flesh tame. I almost said something. So the point I'm making is, we all have our stuff. If we know Jesus is the only perfect person, we all have our stuff. Own it. Embrace it, because they can't use it against you. All right. So the narc said something to me like, you just don't have any patience. Here I go. Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. In fact, I pray to God all the time and ask God to give me grace in that area. I feel, with certain things, God is just going to keep us with a little limp with some things, because we would have to depend on Him. Because if we had it all together, why would we need God? You know what? If I seem to be somewhat impatient with you today, truly, I apologize. It was not my intention, and I will work better to do it next time. What do they have after that? What do they have after that? There's nothing they can say, right? But okay, here's the thing. You own that. You took accountability for that. Now, here's what you do, right? If you have a little pet, because, I can have a petty moment, right? So if you want to really shut them down, once you own that, and don't be petty when you own your stuff. You really stand in that, because that's your truth. But now I'm going to have a petty moment. So now when I shut your face, because you can't even come back with me because I already own my stuff. Well, but now let's talk about your stuff. Let's talk about your stuff. Right? Because you're over here like, you're not trying to let's talk about let's talk about the fact that you're never on time, and I've been sitting here 30 minutes waiting on you, and you didn't even apologize. Let's talk about the fact that you're selfish. Let's talk about the fact that you have no empathy. Let's talk about your vices. Let's talk about the fact that you're heartless. And nobody really wants to be around you. Well, that's a little petty, but nobody wants to be around you. And this is why you have no friends. This is why you harassing my nerves, right? I can go on and on about your vices, and this is why you can't grasp how heavy my load may be. I'm not making excuses for being impatient, but because God have blessed me to steward so many things, it's at a level where sometimes it's really heavy, and I don't expect you to understand that because your pettiness keeps you at a level that's lower. Kizzy, that is the most petty comeback. I think I had a flashback. I don't even know where that came from, right? But you guys get my point, right? So stop letting people beat you up about your stuff. That's not fair. You're sitting here trying to be nice to a person, and they're sitting here, well, you sit here and cook dinner for the kids, and the chicken look like it's half raw. Are you? That's definitely not me, right? Your girl can rule a pot, let me just tell you. But they're literally targeting and trying to hurt your feelings. And they're manipulating you. They're saying it intentionally to break you down and break you down and break you down and break you down. But they can't do it when you own your stuff. That's all me. That's all me. You're right. That's all me. But I wouldn't expect you to understand. But to the ones who you do not have to be around, meaning these are not people that you have to be around, these folks gotta go. You can have a door that can open for you tomorrow, but because you are being disobedient to God, because He's already required you to put up certain boundaries, to let certain people go, and you are literally idolizing the trauma or whatever. You're idolizing something over there because you're putting them before God. All out of fear. You feel like it. Here's another thing just popped in my spirit. A lot of people don't realize either that as much as they're being mistreated, they don't even realize that constantly giving to someone who's constantly hurting, manipulating, lying, and just being narcissistic to you, the fact that you're giving and you're still helping, even though they're taking something from you, when you're giving, that warm and fuzzy feeling and, oh, I just want to help people and bless people and et cetera, that's a trauma response as well. That's also a trauma response. You give so much that you can't even receive. You're giving in spite of how they're taking advantage of you because you don't want them to leave you because it's going to trigger you back to when your father left when you were 5. These are trauma responses as well, even though it looks all godly. God doesn't want us in that foolishness. Religion have conditioned so many people to take so much type of abuse in all forms. Narcissists that manipulate you down to you have zero confidence, zero self-esteem. Every thought you have in your mind, you're second guessing that thought because a narcissist has already played up in your mind like that. And you think God wants you to just constantly. It's time to put up boundaries. It's time to walk away. It is time to trust God. It is time to heal yourself. You can never heal yourself if you are in the setting of an individual or individuals who are taking something, who are manipulating and gaslighting you every chance they get. So let's just say randomly there's a healing retreat and you're going to this healing retreat a couple of hours per day. Okay, so you go for 2 hours and you feel all healed and full and, ooh, God is so good. And, oh, I feel like I'm putting myself first. I feel really great about myself. I feel like my confidence is up because I've been here for 2 hours. As soon as you get home, somebody's gaslighting you. Somebody's saying things intentionally to bring you out of character just to use it against you. See there? You say you love God and you're in here cursing. Just to use it against you. And those little 2 hours after retreat, that little confidence you build right there, child, please. Time you go to bed, you back to square one. It's hard to heal in the environments that has traumatized you. I wanted to share this, right? Take it to God, first and foremost. But you already know. If it's for you, you already know. You cannot get healed. You cannot go into a season of healing if the individuals around you are constantly manipulating you, gaslighting you. They have narcissistic ways. They're psychopaths. They're sociopaths. They're all these different things that these individuals attach themselves to great-hearted individuals. The individuals in this season need to be individuals who are either healed or on a healing journey along with yourself, taking accountability for themselves, not just constantly tearing you down, and they're bringing something to the table, period. I want to share that. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.